One thing, because I'm a high school graduate and I was a prep student. From the minimum wage working world, you've heard all this before. And so I get out to Los Angeles, I'm doing music, and at one point I read Henry Miller. And I think to myself, well, if he could write about prostitutes and drinking wine and being drunk, I could write about what I'm seeing in clubs every day. Dope deals, undercover cops, pretty interesting stuff. And so I stupidly thought I could write, and then I started trying to write, I see how impossible it is. I'm trying to get good at it now. And so I started writing, and then after a while you get high on your own supply. This is really good! And I better publish it. And so rather than wait for some publisher to publish me, because that'll never happen, from the DIY ethos I learned from Discord and SST Records, the Black Flag label, like, you just make a publishing company. Like, shut up, just do it. Like, it's a fanzine. And so I started making my own little paperback books and selling them on tour, mostly giving them away, but I'd make enough to make the next pressing of the book. Started a little company, then suddenly I have a staff and an office, and then I have offices in different states, and now I'm in translation and on and on. But just be honest. It's just be, when you write, when you're on stage, when you're answering a question, be honest, have focus, tenacity, discipline, prepare if you can. I don't know how I would prepare for this, but not high. I showed up on time. I put the punk and punctual, as I like to say. But at some point, Crispin Glover, the great actor, he said, "Henry, you're going to start getting acting work." And I said, "No." He went, "Oh yeah." I said, "How do you think?" I said, "You have naturally what we go to class to learn." I said, "What's that?" He goes, "You're crazy." And within 6 weeks, I'm in a UCLA student film, and like a year later, I'm in a rental car chasing Charlie Sheen down a abandoned highway in Texas. And a few years after that, I'm getting slapped around by Al Pacino. "You bastard!" And then, directed by David Lynch, and on, and then TV and documentary stuff, and on. Voiceover, and all of that. I'm the guy from the ice cream store. I'm 64. I buy my clothes at Walmart. I drive a Mazda 6. It's all dented up for where a homeless guy beat up on it with a lead pipe. I don't know, he's having a bad day. I eat a lot of spinach. I eat cheap. I work every day. I don't take vacations. I work straight through the weekend. I'm that guy. And so it's all one thing. You show up to a film set, prepared. Get along with everyone. Do not diss anyone. Don't treat the crew people bad. Be nice to everyone. Respect who you're working with. Team. We're a cohesive unit trying to get to the end of the day. Go on tour. I'm in a venue every day. "Excuse me, Mr. Rollins, call me Henry. I'm shorter in person. I know, it's okay." You're just trying to have a laugh and just go on stage. Don't mess around. Be prepared. I'm going to improv it, not me. I know every damn word that's going to come out of my mouth, unless I'm ducking an ashtray. Close. That was an improv. The rest of it, I work hard on what I'm going to say to you to not waste your time. I don't want your money. I want your attention and your affection, of course. But, I don't want to waste your time, because I respect your time as much as mine. And I respect the director's time, a producer, a voiceover producer, all of it. And so I'm not qualified to do any of these things. Truly, I'm not. I'm not good at any of it. But when someone says you want to be in a movie, I come from scooping ice cream, tearing tickets at a movie theater, cleaning out animal pans at a pet shop. Who am I to say no to any of this? And so I show up, because it's sure better than sitting around going, "Boo." And I suck in those movies. Not good. But man, I try really hard. And for the most part, I had a pretty good time. And that's the ethos of the whole thing. Because, you're in your 20s, you'll see. When you get to my age, you better bring a sense of humor, because you're going to need it. Because your body doesn't work like it used to. You're not 20 anymore. And I wouldn't want to look back on my life and go, "Oh, I should have done that, I should have done that, I was too afraid." I've done a million auditions and, blown most of them. But I stopped getting nervous about them. Like, why get nervous? Just go in and do it. And if you don't get the part, which is usual, just put a Slayer mix on the car and drive back with anger. Or just, make your own thing and do something where no one rejects you. Like my little companies, I come up with an idea for a book. I'm the boss. I sleep with the owner every night. I just cop the feel. No one says no to me, so I come up with some dumbass idea for a book. And Heidi, this woman who's been yelling at me and ruling my life, my manager for 20 years, the smart one, I go, hey, here's an idea for a book. She was like, will it be any good? Like, thanks. She always like bucks me up. She's been anger texting me while I've been on stage. Are you late? Did you get there? She has no confidence in me whatsoever. I always text back, the gig was yesterday, right? Shut up, get on stage. But she's my editor. So I go, I have an idea for a book, and I'll kind of pitch it to her. She's like, yeah, when are you gonna be done? Like 3 years? She's like, make it a year and a half. I'm like, okay. Because she just wants everything done. And so all of this is like, it comes from the DIY ethos. But you show up with respect and earnestness to kick ass. And no matter what it is. And that's it. Yeah. And gratitude is my fuel. You know, I wake up every day in this body, it sucks. But I'm grateful that the roof doesn't leak, and that I got some food, and I can get to the car and go to the gym. I'm grateful, and that's like a battery that charges itself. If you're grateful, and I'm not trying to give you a life lesson, but when you're grateful, even the worst things during the day, well, I'm gonna have an argument with this person. Well, at least I get to have this argument. It's a first world problem. I get to have those. Hooray! I'm not running for my life, getting shot at. And so I've really tapped into the gratitude idea many years ago, but as I get older, I just see that you can just kind of live your whole life being grateful, and good things will happen, because you're not picking a fight with that guy. When the person's being rude to you, instead of going being rude back, like, oh, there's a lot of pain there. That poor bastard. His parents sucked, I'm sure. And there's a writer, Hubert Selby Jr., wrote Last Exit to Brooklyn, Requiem for a Dream. We became friends in 1986, and we were friends until his death. I did the big speech at his memorial. And he taught me, he said, anyone who's mean or angry or coming at you with violence, he says, they're just showing you their pain. So just like just focus in on their pain and try and pull the thorn out of their paw, which was difficult for me, because I really love hitting them. So not as much as I used, I'm just not, I'm never good at it. But I would just hit the man before I'd try and understand. And then I met Selby, and I never thought of any of that the same way again. Because he's right, of course, he's always right. And as I get older, I just see more and more that's the way to be. Because I live in a neighborhood where everyone around me is probably diametrically opposed to most of my worldview. Literacy, science is cool, scientists know stuff, that kind of thing. Drag queens are great at reading the kids at libraries, let's not run away. Literacy is not to be feared, libraries are not the enemy. And so I encounter these people, in my neighborhood, at the gym, at the supermarket, all the time. And we don't agree on much, but I'm cool, and they're cool back. And we can just get along on a few things. We don't have, who cares about the rest? Let's just be good to everyone's kids, and we'll stagger out of this better than how we came in, as best we can.
What's the best